everyone. So this is the 17th session of the food safety and quality assurance of the topic quality control charts for food plant sanitation. So, talking about the background, a three-word definition of food sanitation is protection from contamination. With this in mind, all functions and operations must be included in a sanitation program. All food products must be protected from contamination from receiving and before through distribution. Sanitation is a dynamic and ongoing function and cannot be sporadic or something that can be turned once a day, once a week. Therefore, another definition could be sanitation is a way of life. Temperature control. The primary rule of a sanitation is to pay strict attention to food temperatures. Avoid prolonged holding in the danger zone, that is 40 degree Fahrenheit to 140 degree Fahrenheit. Provide functional thermometers to all food storage boxes. Monitor the temperature on serving lines on a regular frequency. Thaw frozen foods under refrigeration or under controlled water. Do not thaw foods at room temperature. Hygiene and personal practices. Regardless of the type of processing or food handling operations, the number one consideration in food in sanitation is people. It is the people who set the rules, follow the rules, and also break the rules of the sanitation. A sanitation program is as good as the attitude, willingness, and efforts of the people. That is why the most important aspect of the sanitation program is ongoing personal training. It is essential that the full meaning of sanitation and its wide economic scope be accepted by everyone concerning in the food system, including management. Personal training should include appropriate sanitation principles and the food handling practices, manufacturing controls, and personal hygiene practices. Sanitation principles and food hygiene handling practices. Personal training should instill and nurture an understanding of the processing steps and technologies for each product manufactured or handled and where potential problem exists, and creates a keen desire to satisfy and guard the consumer's interest. Manufacturing controls and essential operations. Production personnel must be trained in the critical elements of the operations for which they are responsible, in the importance of these operations, monitoring in these operations, and in the action to be taken when the operations are not controlled. Certain industries have developed these certified programs for operators of essentially heat processed equipments. Hygiene practices. Persons known to be suffering from or known to be the carriers of a disease likely to be transmitted through food must be restricted from any food handling area. Likewise, persons afflicted with infected wound, that is skin infection sores, must be restricted from these areas. Any person with open cuts or wounds should not be handled food unless injury is completely protected by secure waterproof covering. Hand washing. Facilities for hot water for hand washing must be provided and must be convenient for food handling areas. All personnel involved in food handling must be thoroughly washed hands with soap under warm running potable water. Hands must always also be washed and handling contaminated materials, and after using toilet facilities where required. Employees must use disinfection dips. Personal cleanliness and conduct. Personal cleanliness must be maintained which involves food handling operations. Sanitary protective clothing, hair covering, footwear must be worn and maintained in a clean sanitary manner. Gloves if worn must be clean and sanitary. All food handling personnel must remove objects from their person which may fall into contaminate the food product. Tobacco, gum and food are not permitted in food handling areas. Traffic control or controlled areas. The persons and visited access to specific food product handling areas must be restricted. Personnel involved in raw product handling must not be allowed to in processing of finished product areas. Food baths and hand dips where required must be properly maintained and used. Color coding of clothing, maintenance and other equipment should be used to clearly identify raw versus processed product operations. Premises and surroundings. Outside surroundings should be evaluated for sources of contamination such as vermin, bird harborage areas, drainage problems, odor problems, debris, refuse and pollen, smoke, pollution, smoke, dust and other contaminants. Appropriate steps must be taken to contain and control any potential sources of contamination. Buildings and facilities. The two most important overall elements of any food processing and handling facility is that it should be cleanable and so designed and constructed that it prevents entrance or harborage of pests. Design and construction. In the building construction, the facility should have floors, walls, ceilings reconstructed of suitable approved materials which are durable, smooth, impervious, and easily cleaned. Walls should be light colored and well joined, and floors should be adequately sloped for drainage to trapped outlets. Opening to outside and non-food processing or handling rooms of facility must be sealed. Instruments panel closed to appropriately locked and sealed to prevent harborage of insects. Windows and doors must be tight and close fittings, and doors in the food processing areas closing should be self-closing. Overhead structures and lighting. Overhead structures should be situated and constructed to prevent contamination of food products, and lighting is to be adequate with properly sealed safety type overhead fixtures. Heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. These systems must be designed and installed to prevent buildup of heat, steam, condensation, or dust, and to remove contaminated air. Positive air pressure is required in microbiologically sensitive areas. HVAC system should be designed to be cleanable and air intake located to prevent intake of contaminated air. Drainage and sewage systems. Appropriate traps and vents to be used throughout. There should be no potential of cross connections existing between humans and waste, effluents, and other waste in the plant. Appropriate vacuum breakers or air breakers must be used. Waste facilities designed to prevent contamination should provide for the sanitary storage of waste and inedible material prior to the removal from plants or surroundings. Waste containers are to be clearly identified. General protection from contamination. Flow through pattern. A well designed food processing or handling facility is constructed to minimize traffic to prevent contamination. It is desirable to have a product flow through or physically and operating, separating raw products. Sanitary facilities. Washroom, lunchrooms, change rooms, self closing doors must be provided for all the washroom facilities. Hand washing facilities. Sufficient number of hand washing sinks with hot and cold potable water, soap, sanitary dry hand drying supplies or devices must be provided in washrooms. Water quality program. A potable water stream and ice supply is imperative for sanitary food processing and handling compliance. Raw material receiving. All elements and operations involved in receiving and storage of ingredients, packing materials, and other incoming materials must be evaluated and monitored to prevent potential contamination of the food product. Storage temperatures and humidity controls. Where appropriate and applicable, the temperature and humidity of storage rooms for raw materials must be maintained and monitored. That's all for this session. Thank